Music. Okay, I just put the camera up because I thought it was too low on my head, and then I must have moved. Now it looks like there's too much space over my head. Or maybe I was sitting back. I don't know. Maybe God, now this is going to drive me nuts. I'm a boomer who can't set the webcam up. Hey, Megaleech, and hey, Caleb, what's happening? I've already shot a video before starting where I made a martini. So now I have a martini, which makes me happy. Oh, fuck yeah. Love a martini. And I make a good martini. So, yeehaw. So, yes. Oh, man, what the stupid thing wants to... The little thing saying it wants to restart. No. Not while I'm doing a live stream. Stupid laptop. If I'd noticed that earlier, because the laptop's actually been on for a little while, I would have done it before I did the stream, because I get paranoid when that pops up that it's going to say, I'm going to force you to do a restart now. Damn you, Microsoft Windows. But it probably won't do that. It'll just update when I shut down for the evening. What is it? It's Thursday. God, I feel like Easter's thrown me out of whack, and more than usual, I don't know what friggin' day of the week it is. Tomorrow's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Then there's a normal week next week, and then there's Anzac Day the week after, which is on Tuesday, and I've actually taken annual leave on the Monday, so I get another 4-day weekend, and then I've only got a 3-day week that week, and then I think there's no public holidays for a while. Well, I'm not sure. I could look it up. Let me look it up. Public holidays Victoria, auto completed. Wait, what is this? Okay, so Anzac Day. King's birthday, that's going to sound weird. Okay, so that's in June. So that's only a month and a half after Anzac Day. And then there's the footy one. So we've got to go June, July, August, September. So, 3.5 months without a public holiday. Dang. And then another month and a half till Melbourne Cup Day. And then another month and a half till Christmas. That's all going to go really fast. Well, there you go. I'm just mapping out my public holidays for the rest of the year. Cheers, y'all. I created a new thing during the week. A orange sweet and sour mix, which I think is pretty good, and I haven't used it in a drink yet. So I'm going to use it in a drink. Hey, Salumi, what's this? Wish the cold would go fast. Oh, yeah. If you got sick just as the weather turns cold, that really sucks. That really sucks. So I empathize with you. You've got man flu. Oh, dear. Oh, no. So everyone got the cold? At least I guess you can, share the misery together. It can be annoying if people with you aren't sick when you are. Might make it hard for you to, because if someone's well, it's kind of nice if they look after you. Oh yeah, is this your first time seeing the new setup? And Kayla was there. Look, and just in case you haven't seen that, like if I move out of the way, look at that. Look at that. I will be shooting a cocktail video a little bit later. Oh yeah, Heine, I still wear a face mask on public transport. Supermarket. Basically, if I'm going to be in a place with a lot of people, I like to have a face mask on. Oh no, you had to reschedule a first date, an appointment, group viewing of the races. Damn, yeah. No. Yes, I have not yet hung the art, Megaleech. But tomorrow I am going to get my COVID booster. And that happens to be in a mall that has a price line. And they might have a couple things I want. I want magnets for Mimsy, because I had been sticking Mimsy up with Blue Tack, and it's really not all that successful. It fell off in the middle of the night and made a loud noise and freaked me right out. So I want to hot glue some magnets to the back of Space Mimsy, and then stick her on the metal part of the bar. And yes, get some proper hanger hooks, the removable ones for the artwork. I'm thinking, what do you call it? I think I just said the wrong thing about what I'm looking for. So, Selima, you wear the face mask most places. You got it from Ronan's mum, oh dear. What's the sort of fabric and hobby place? I think it's not Lincraft. It's man, now I'm going blank, because I think I said Priceline, which is actually a chemist, obviously. God, I can see it. I think it's old age catching up on me, forgetting really obvious things like that. God, I was going to say Spotswood, but that's a suburb. Spotlight. I think I mean to say Spotlight. I mean, if that isn't dementia creeping in, thanks, Sulumi. That appeared just after I thought of it. Thinking, is it Spotswood? No, that's a suburb. I think it's Spotlight. So yes, I'm hoping the Spotlight might have some hobby stuff I'm after. Proper picture, removable picture hooks for the artwork, because the artwork's actually really fucking cool. That I've had for ages. They're actually both presents for Mrs. Angry, and they haven't been on the wall in a little while, so it'd be nice if they're up on the wall. Yeah, so I'm hoping they have the picture hooks, the magnets. God, and there was something else I was going to get from there too. I might think of it when I'm in there. I have the wrong. I was just realizing I had the wrong peeler, or peeler that is not my preferred peeler, when I was peeling that lemon twist for this martini. But I also think I have the right peeler there as well. So I'll use that because I'm going to make a gimlet. Going to make an orange gimlet. So yes, that's my grand plan for tomorrow. Get a COVID booster, go to Spotlight. Oh yeah, you got to look after yourself, Salumi. You got to temp and the tiredness. Interestingly, I haven't taken any sick leave since I became a permanent, even when I had COVID, because it wasn't that bad. It was just like a cold. So I just worked from my bedroom. Probably should take some sick leave. But it's just working from home is so easy. Like I'd have to be like, I can't lift my head up. And the joys of working from home. There were a couple times in COVID week where I got tired, and I slept for an hour or so in the afternoon. I could just make that time up, easy peasy. Didn't fall behind in any of my work, so that was good. It's kind of like I think my boss might be getting used to me getting stuff done quite quickly, but I actually I want to temper their expectations when it's like, here's the thing, you got to do a thing, we need the thing here. And I either directly ask, when do you need this? Or I take a guess, and then I'll normally like hammer it out. I'm not averse to not wanting to set the boss's expectations too high, because I got something done in a couple of hours that I thought she probably wanted in a couple of days. And I'm going, well, I'm not going to give it to her straight away, because then she expects everything in a couple of hours. And I might not be as productive at other times. It's just, I just kind of hit my mark. And in fact, ChatGPT helped me with it. Just for fun, I said, I want to talk about security framework XYZ. How would you explain and ChatGPT said, it works like this, blah, 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 blah. And I went, that's all good. And I did a bit of cross-referencing and checking some of the information. And it was kind of fun to do that, actually. But yes, I actually sent it through to her before the end of the first day, when I'm pretty sure she was going to allow me at least a couple of days to do it. I thought, okay, I'll do it ahead of when I think she wants, but not too far ahead, because so it was also a thing I used to explain when I was contracting, like I might have only been somewhere 3 or 6 months, and I'd be churning through stuff, and it would occasionally, particularly if I was working in government departments, would freak out the permies a bit, how quickly I churn through stuff. And so I would make a point of saying to the boss, the only reason I can just like hammer these things out is because I'm only doing this for a fixed amount of time. I could not keep up this pace non-stop. If I was permanent and had all the responsibilities of getting stuff done on regular things, bursts of productivity like this would be more difficult, because I'd be expected to keep doing that constantly. I'm only here for this amount of time, so I can focus and get shit done. It's quite a different kettle of fish for people who are permanent. So you've got to manage expectations, I think. Yeah. Trying to remember. Oofed. I think I need to run out and check something really quickly. Hey, Justin, how you going? No, that's what I did. Sorry, I was literally trying to remember how I did something, because it was a new thing, first time I'd done it, and so I think I'm going to make a little video where I explain my orange sour mix, and I'm going to make some drinks. Ooh, I need to get a chunk of ice for Rockslick. Okay. Funny you should ask me, Leach. Not that he sent it to me, but because I'm subscribed to him on YouTube, I saw a thing he posted, and it's wait, what happened to it? Wait, is it still there? I'll play this thing from Frank because I have to duck out and get something, and it might finish before I get back. But oh, it shouldn't. Right, okay, I'll get myself ready. So I need a rocks glass. I just got to get a big piece of ice for it. All right, so this I think is what. Hey, Stricken Sega, this is the at least a trial demo of the background Frank intends for the zombie thing I was talking about. So I'm sure he won't mind me sharing it. Okay. So it's... Oh, and I've seen... he did me a picture of a zombie AIDSy, and it looks really good. But this is just the background. I'll play this while I go out and get this thing. Okay, he must. No wonder I couldn't find it on his channel. He must have taken it down after putting it up for a test. Dang. All right. Well, I will just play some music then. Easy listening, lo-fi. I'll only be gone for like 30 to 60 seconds. All right. I'm back. There. All right. And turn that off. Oh no, a massive headache. That is not good. All right. I need to move this chair because I got to put my camera here. Oh. All righty. So, this. Good night, Salumi. I hope your head what are you going to do? Tomorrow off, disappear in a dark room. Yes, need to look after yourself. Thank you so much for dropping in, but yes, you need to go off and look after yourself. Okay. Okay, camera. What do we got here, camera? No, we want to go in a bit closer than that. Thank you very much. Let me see what that looks like. Short. It's a little bin under here. That's a good. All right. So you get to watch me being a weirdo for 10 minutes. Gonna do this. G'day, cocktail lovers. I did a bit of an experiment this week. See, when I have an orange, I basically have it so I can use the peel in old fashions and other cocktails. And then when I finish peeling it, I'm left with an orange. So I juice it, and I don't usually just drink orange juice. So I'll often use that in a clarified cocktail. I use it as the clarifying agent. But recently, for reasons that... Recently, when I was going to get an orange, I saw there was a whole bag of oranges. Fuck me. Jesus Christ. I thought I had my phone on silent. Fuck. Oh, God. It's the standard Thursday night message, my YouFoods. Is Dr. Abigail there? She can repeat about the YouFoods thing. Strictly Sega, I will explain MK Ultra when I come back. Recently, I went looking for an orange, and I found out like a bag of oranges was only slightly more expensive than a single good quality orange. I thought, I'll get the bag. But then I had lots of oranges, so I had lots of orange juice. I thought, I want to do something creative with this. And so I came up with the idea of doing a syrup. And I was making this up on the fly. I've never really done this before, never seen a recipe for this, but I thought, this will work. And my idea was to make a citrusy sweet and sour mix. Like back in the bad old days of like the 80s in particular, sweet and sour mix was a thing. And the bottled sweet and sour mixes are basically terrible. You're far better off using fresh citrus and sugar syrup. But I thought I could make a good one on my own. So I juiced all the oranges. That made bordering on 500 mils of orange juice. And then I put that in a saucepan and simmered it until I had reduced it by half. I thought that would concentrate the orange flavor in there. And a little tip for reducing by half, one way to do it is when the liquid that you have in there is set to go, put a wooden spoon in there upside down, and you see where it comes to, and then you mark that. And then later on, you come back when it's been reducing for a while, and you see how far down the spoon is it now. Oh, it's halfway down from that mark. It's been reduced by half. When I reached that state, then came some sugar. I added 200 grams of sugar in there. I figured there was about 200 to 250 grams of concentrated orange juice there. I added 200 grams of sugar and dissolved that. And then I thought, I'm going to make this sour. And I have some citric acid and malic acid I use for making super juice. I thought, we'll put a little bit in there. And I looked up a recipe for acid-adjusted orange juice as a guideline. And it had an amount for what you would do with a liter of orange juice. And I thought, okay, well, I started with about half of that. Okay, and then I reduced it by half again. So, I'm going to be super cautious and do a quarter of what they recommend. So it was only about 8 grams of the citric acid and about 4 or 5 grams of the malic acid. And I put that in and gave it a taste test. And I thought, bingo, that actually tastes pretty good. Also, it looks pretty good. It's quite a nice orange color. I'm yet to use it in a cocktail. So I'm going to make a couple of cocktails. Ones that would traditionally have some citrus and some sugar in them. And I'll just use this sour mix and we'll see how it turns out. I just realized I don't have my GoPro for the close-up shots. MK Ultra was a freaky thing the CIA did in the 60s, where they believed they needed to investigate hypnotism, mind control, psychic powers, all that sort of thing. And among the array of what they did was dose people the fuck up with LSD. Some people knew it was being done, and some people didn't know it was being done. And when people talked about it, a lot of people said they were crazy and paranoid. But in a lot of cases, the CIA really had been feeding them quite dangerous amounts of LSD. All right. Whiskey sour, whiskey sour. Whiskey sour. Which one's this? Okay, that'll do. It's just very arbitrary. The first cocktail I'm going to make is one of my old favourites, a whiskey sour. I'm going to make a whiskey sour using this rather nice whiskey and this home... I'm going to make a whiskey sour with this whiskey and this homemade orange sour mix. You should check my channel for the recipe on how to make this. I'm just really quickly looking something up while we talk. Yes, the pick was very deliberately trippy for MK Ultra. What the fuck is the shit? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, chameleon. Really quickly looking at this. Oh, I got to turn on the GoPro. How we going, GoPro? Are we on slow-mo? Yes, we are. Okay, that's pretty good. Shit. Fuck it. I just realized I made a little mistake there. To make the whiskey sour, I'm going to put 2 ounces or 60 mils of whiskey into our mixing glass, and then 1 ounce of the orange sour mix. To make it foamy, you can use egg white or aquafaba. I'm adding a couple of drops of Wonder Foam. Then we do a dry shake, which means shaking with no ice. Then add ice to the shaker and do the wet shake. Shake it again for another 10 or 15 seconds. strain that into a chilled Nick and Nora glass, and there you have your whiskey sour. All right. Now I need to do this shit. Oh, fucking hell. I keep forgetting. Need more light. Or the GoPro. Oh, fucking hell. Alright. And that is actually really sour. Candy. Okay. That's not working. Add some more foam. And now add the ice. Nick and Nora glass, where are you? All right. And we'll strain that into the glass. Now, moving this back around here. Second time I got that back to front. God damn it. Gotta sit down after I do this. And there we have a whiskey sour. Man, that orange really brightens this up. Makes it for a very interesting drink. Well worth a try. Make your own. Cheers. Sit down for a while. See if I do actually like this. And a highlight tag. Powering off. Powering off. Everything power off. Make a gimlet as well. These guys have it back from Newcastle. Equal second in your area. Nice. Alright. Do that. Switch this off for now. My hands are sticky. Ugh, actually, my hands are really gross and sticky. I'm going to excuse myself for the briefest time. Let's get the bathroom out here and wash my... Oh, my chair's here. I need my chair too. All right, let's bring this chair back in so I can sit down and talk. Like bloody little bit of cable there for no apparent reason. Let me get this shit together. All right. Und now I sit down. Yes, Heine, Alien Head, suitable for MK Ultra. This had vodka in it. I only bought it because it was on special, and I wanted the bottle. It's green glass because it makes a good what do you call it? Did I not close the camera? It is a great bottle. I do occasionally get tempted to buy things for the bottle, along with another vodka one, the Crystal Head. I got 2 of those. Again, they were also on special when I got them. Claire, oh, Jesus Christ, this is some cunt spammer on Twitch. I'm literally just going to go and do my civic duty and report the fucker. Report. Spam. Spam. Report. And block that user. Useless spamming fuckwit. Safa, that's probably going a little bit far, but the Liberal Party generally has been aggressively defunding the ABC over the last 10 years. Justin, I think it's actually not harder to block spammers on Twitch if you know what you're doing. And because I'm not streaming natively to Twitch and I don't get that familiar with how all its controls work, I stumble a bit when I go to block someone on Twitch. But now I've had to do it a couple of times. I think if I had to do it fast, I could do it relatively fast. Man, I was not sure if that sour mix would actually work, and I say yes, it does. Safa, I'm pretty sure it was a bot. It was just the thing saying, I want to promote your channel. You pay us and we'll get people to watch your channel. And it's like, you know, and even the thing, go to dogehype.com. It's like, fucking hell. It's just like, fuck off. Okay, sorry. I'm just going to sidebar thing. Because, okay, the only channel that I'm really interested in growing at the moment is my cocktail channel. You know, I'm getting some progress, some traction on there, and that's nice. about a tenth as much as I'd like, but you just got to put the time in. And I do occasionally, because I subscribe to other cocktail making channels, and every now and then, like more often than I would have expected, I look at someone and they don't have a lot of subscribers, but they post videos that get a lot of views and a lot of likes, but almost no comments. And I go, oh, they're buying views and likes. That's so counterproductive. That will work against you. And I always get a little bit annoyed when I see it. So, yes, that's a little side rant that probably no one cares about. But yes, I do see people who are obviously buying views and likes, and it's like, that is such a dumb idea. Because it almost definitely won't work in your favor, and there's somewhat of a probability of it actively working against you, where YouTube works out these are paid views and likes, and they're actually pretty good at working that out, and they could deliberately demote your channel as a result of that. So it is not a good idea. Plus, I get annoyed. Like, I'm out here struggling for views. Then I say, why has this person got so many views? Oh, they're buying the views. Okay. So, yep. Something's different. Actually, in the early days of YouTube, when they had no sort of Google Smarts at all, there are all sorts of ways to fuck with them. Like, certainly in the first, say, 2 years of YouTube, just getting views meant you would get more views, and YouTube had no real way of measuring the quality of those views. So what I know people did, and also like YouTube just counted a view as soon as play started on a video. Even if someone stopped playing it after 5 seconds, that was still a view. It doesn't work like that anymore. So what I know people did was they would have browsers with, depending on how strong their computer was, how many browser tabs it could support. They'd have dozens of browser tabs open, all playing the same video, but all set to automatically refresh after 5 or 10 seconds. So you just leave that running overnight, and you wake up in the morning to thousands of views, which in the first couple of years of YouTube was a pretty big deal. Like 1 million views is not even that big a deal in YouTube. I mean, obviously it's very good, but it's just that when you get the people who are getting billions of views a month, millions of views a month seems a bit piddling. It's not. It's really good. It's an exceptional achievement. But yes, thousands of views used to be a big thing. But yes, they eventually got wise to those things, and the algorithm got more and more perceptive, and could pick things, fake things, more easily and more accurately. But it was the Wild West for the first year or two. Get away with goddamn anything. Oh my God, it was a big thing, because certainly for at least the first couple of years on YouTube, you just had a default thumbnail. Like, you would upload the video and you had no control over what the thumbnail was. Then someone worked out the thumbnail was the exact center frame of your video. So when you were editing your video, if you put something provocative, attention-getting, right in the middle frame of the video, that would be the thumbnail. And that was a scam that worked for a while too. So people are always trying shit. And it's like an arms race between YouTube and the people who want to manipulate YouTube. It's funny because, I mean, YouTube is extraordinarily frustrating as a creator. They just regularly do things that creators hate. But what YouTube's sole aim is to keep people on the platform watching videos. So if your video keeps people on the platform watching videos, that makes YouTube happy. So there's all sorts of subtleties and ins and outs with the algorithm. But the simple fact is, if you make videos people want to watch and do the base level stuff of the appearance of the videos, the thumbnail, the title, and all that sort of thing, you'll probably ultimately do okay. Mr. Beast and other high-profile YouTubers probably get paid at a higher rate than ordinary monetized people. Like, with a huge amount of variation, a very rough average of a monetized video is $1 per 1,000 views. Some videos and some clicks on videos are worth more than others, depending if the demographic they attract is more attractive to advertisers. But as a very rough guideline, a monetized channel gets about $1 per 1,000 views. There are a whole bunch of reasons why you might get more or less or nothing if they decide the content means you can't be monetized. You'd be like me and couldn't be bothered playing that game and deliberately demonetize your own channel just to not have to deal with the stress. I suspect the big draw cards are paid more to entice them to keep producing on the platform. I have no evidence to support that, but you could probably find with a pretty straightforward search if that's actually the case. Yeah. All right, I'm going to do the second half of that video I was making now. I'm going to make a gimlet. So now I need to go and reset up some things, which means I need to get this chair out of the way again. All right, fiddling around. I hope I've done this right, so I can edit this tomorrow or on the weekend, because I actually have my next couple of videos set up. So no goddamn rush. All right, put that out there. Oh yeah, I mean, your number one thing, if you're successful on YouTube, your number one goal should be to grow your audience off YouTube. Because being dependent on YouTube is a recipe for disappointment and stress. And whether that's just going on Patreon or having your own site or those sorts of things, these are all things you need to do if you want to stay sane and you don't want to be stressed out all the time by YouTube. Actually, I think I need to rinse this just for appearance's sake. All right. Let me do Do that. I'm just going to disappear momentarily and rinse this. All right. Squeezing back into the room. I'm back in the room. This. Yeah, that was mostly water. But with a nice taste. Okay. Oh, no. Getting shelves mixed up. Whiskey on the top shelf. Okay. Got to try a little tenderness. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let me double check how that framing is. All right, I should turn the camera on. I can just see myself doing the whole thing without turning the goddamn camera on. I have actually done that before, so but here we go. See how quickly I can do this. The whiskey sour was a success. So the second cocktail I am going to make with the orange sour mix is a gimlet. Normally done with lime, like a lime cordial or lime juice and sugar syrup. So I am going to have an orange gimlet. G'day cocktail lovers, I'm going to make an orange gimlet with this gin and this homemade orange sour mix. You should check my channel for the recipe for this. To make an orange gimlet, we start with 2 ounces or 60 mils of a citrus forward gin in our shaker. Then add 1 ounce or 30 mils of the orange sour mix. And that's essentially it. We add ice to our shaker, shake that good and hard for 10 or 15 seconds, and then strain it into a chilled coupe. And now I'm going to do that with the GoPro. Who's that on the Twitch? Angry name guys, truck driver. Mr. Angry. I'm not familiar with the gentleman. Not all angry people know each other. I'm just making a cocktail for a channel called Angry Cocktails. It's my brand. What are you going to do? Okay, so GoPro switch on. All right, you come here, Mitch. Okay. Recording. We are going gin first. Oh, I'm almost out of this gin. Do I want more of it? That's the question. Orange is the new black. I'm going to get a bit more ice from the trusty ice bucket, aka the soup furnace, because that's what it's really designed. Oh, fuck it. All the ice. Yeah. What it's actually designed for. Alright. Where's the coop? Where's the coop? Coop dog, yeah, dog. Such a daggy line. I am such a dag. Yep, okay, it's in place. Let's strain it in. Alright. I missed the class completely. What the fuck? Oh, well, that's a fun little blooper to see if anyone spots on the video. Okay. Dunzo. Oh, this back here. For that. No, you're supposed to be switched off. Okay. And then we have an orange gimlet with hardly any of it spilled on the bar. Ooh, well, that is a nice change up from a lime gimlet as you'd normally get. It's got malic acid to simulate lime, but there's that bright orange thing in there. I really like this one, an orange gimlet. And then I've got to try and edit this shit together. And now I'm gonna switch a bunch of stuff off and not make any more videos tonight. Right, let's get some shit out of the way. Seems so much dimmer without the big light on. Right, I've got to get my chair. I had to move my chair out of the room to shoot that. Okay, in we go. The robot chair. This was Young Ms. Angry's gaming chair. And she decided she was sick of it and it was kind of shit. So when she moved out, she left it behind and got herself a new chair for her new place. So I just thought, fuck it, I'm going to use it here. Now I don't have to drag my other computer chair from the other end of the house. Just have this one here. So yeah, all right. Chilling out with my orange gimlet. Yum. It's actually good. I thought, it was a pure experiment making that orange sour mix. And it could have been bad. It could have been bad. Or it could have just been not good. But it genuinely works. I've got to do a tiki drink with it. That's nice. Man, that's really fucking good. Well, there you go. I feel like I accomplished something tonight. I made a drink that I like. It's a weird experiment I'd had in my head for a while. And regular viewers might remember when I admitted to fucking up the first one because I had the orange juice and sugar on the stove and sour mix on the stove, and I was supposed to simmer it, and then I fucking forgot it was there like for a really long time, and it burned. I tried to tell myself it was caramelized, but it was fucking burnt. I did make a couple of drinks with it, and honestly, it wasn't completely terrible, but it wasn't great, and I only want great, so I turfed that, had a second go at it, and lo and behold, success. Ooh, I got to make a daiquiri with it. Yes. Oh, fuck yes, a daiquiri with this. Yum-o. That would be good. We're just cruising along now. I was happy with my Discover. What was this? On this day in 2000. What was that? Oh, Metallica took Napster to court in 2000. Okay. Goodness me. What a weird time that was. A very weird time. Where Lars Ulrich in particular was outed as being a real fucking dick. What the utter fuck? Windows, I swear to God. Trying to make my life a misery. I was just going to see if there were any interesting news headlines this late in the day. Oh, yes. And tropical cyclones meant to be hitting Western Australia now-ish. So I hope everyone in Western Australia is okay. Donald Trump suing his ex-lawyer, Michael Cohen, for $500 million. That ought to be funny. Someone's been appointed rat czar in New York. $250,000 to fight rats. Good Lord. The 6 challenges that await the new rat czar. Rat czar. That is weird. Saha, no, well, they did have VHS tapes when they were kids. First season of Pokemon on VHS, which was actually quite a few VHS tapes. Watched that about 1 million times. No familiarity at all with later seasons, but watched the first season, possibly first 2 seasons, so many times. The challenges that await the rat czar. Oh dear. Robert Sullivan's friends told him he'd be perfect for the rat czar job. He'd written a book called Rats, but he didn't apply. Someone called Kathleen Karate, a land use and sustainability expert. And Adams used a musical metaphor, calling her a maestro who would coordinate efforts to address New York's rat problem. The rats are going to hate Kathy, said Adams. Rats don't have that capacity anyway. She's getting $155,000 US a year to supervise rat experts who already work for the city. The mayor has a singularly personal relationship with rats. As an owner of a townhouse in Brooklyn, he's fought ticket for rat infestations. Mayor he called rats public enemy number one. No question they're a scourge that causes headaches for policy makers. Rat sightings documented by inspectors doubled last year. City Hall attributed the jump to an increase in inspections. So what am I going to do? You're going to spend $3.5 million on a rodent mitigation zone in Harlem. Starting off in one neighborhood makes sense. That's the way mayors have tried it before. But immediately the question is, you're saying take care of rats, but are you helping people? Right. This guy who thinks he's an expert, New York should follow the example set by Canadian province of British Columbia, which banned rat poison. Permanent ban on what's known as second-generation anticoagulant rodenticides took effect in January after an 18-month trial. The risk was that animals consumed poisoned rodents could themselves be poisoned. Sullivan said he'd seen some pretty impressive rat infestations. Watched a lot of rats running in and out of a car, not through a door that had been left ajar, but through the wheel wells to the engine compartment. They left the car to eat from restaurant garbage and went back to the car. I saw that a month ago and thought, oh, how's that Ratsar job search going? Ratsar. I'm not sure how good that looks on your resume. Yeah. Well, that's a thing they do in the US when someone's appointed. I don't know who came up with it first, but it's a thing they've done since at least the 70s. When someone gets appointed to address a particular thing, they're called the czar. I have this weird feeling like it might have come from the Nixon era, but I could be wrong. So if you were meant to fix a city's garbage problem, you'd be the garbage czar. If you were in charge of roads, you'd be the roadway czar. If you're in charge of trying to manage rat infestation, you're the rat czar. So I'm not completely sure how good that sounds on a resume, to be honest. Well. It's the way things are. Actually, I was going to try something. I made a new clarified cocktail today. I haven't tried it. Another glass with ice has been sitting there and half the ice is melted. But that will make the glass nice and chilled. Drink a bit of water, because water is good for me. Water. Oh. And I put it in this cool bottle. Probably can't see. Maybe you can. This bottle's made in the old style, so it's got a lot of imperfections in it. All these little bubbles in it, and all different bits of it are uneven. It held a bourbon that was made in Park City, Utah. Yes, High West Distillery. It's pretty cool, so I kept the bottle when I finished the whiskey. Oh, what am I doing? I didn't bring any. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to do any of the extra stuff. Rather than using my metal finger, I'll just use my human finger to stir this a bit. Well, that's a nice bit of ASMR, really. What have you done on Discord, Megaleech? Time to meet the Muppets on the Muppet Show tonight. Rat Kings or Rat Czars. Okay. Let me, where is this? Rat Czars. I like it. All right, it's being weird. All right, it's being weird. I'm going to open it in a bigger window. All right, let me share this screen. This should be better. Let me see. That does look like a Russian Tsar. The random bits of smoke are funny. It seems to have a cigarette stuck in its whiskers. Weird. There's another one. Oh, this one's a much happier looking rat Tsar. Looks a bit more like a rat or a mouse circus master. That's a much happier looking. Has it got a gun? I think the thing in its left hand is meant to be a gun. One of the many things the AI art generators are bad at are having the figures they create hold something. So at the risk of breaking the law, this one definitely looks to me like Rat Tsar Nicholas. That's a positively diabolical Rat Tsar. Megaleech got these from one of the AI art generators. And wait a sec, there's one more. This as another one looks a bit cuter, a bit more mousy, a bit more Disney-ish, but the eyes are all fucked up on it. Which is again the AI art generation programs. I think what's very common with them is at first glance, what they produce is quite impressive. But then you look at it a bit and you realize all the things that are silly and fucked up that a human artist would never do. I mean, unless you ask them to. And the eyes on that one are really fucked up. And again, like it's holding a staff, and that's just completely wrong. And whatever the fuck that is coming out of its mouth, and its whiskers are all fucked up and wrong as well. So it's kind of interesting at first glance. Like I think it's quite a cute picture. At first glance, AI generated images are impressive. Then you look at them, and it's almost like the longer you look at them, the less impressive they are, the more you see the faults in them. But they're obviously going to get better. Anyway, I haven't tried this yet. I meant to smell that and I tipped it too far. I have a drinking problem. I missed my mouth. Oh, that's interesting, because I deliberately put some bitter elements in this. And it smells wonderfully sweet and floral and vanilla-y. It's quite good because it's not too sweet. And there is just that little subtle undercurrent of bitterness, which is a nice contrast with the initially sweet one. What was your prompt for these extra ones, Megaleech? Was it Rat Tsar running over the proletariat? Because that's what it looks like to me. Look at this. Rat Tsar in his cars running over a bunch of small rats. I feel like that's a political statement, that one, about the Rat Tsar crushing the population. And this one is, I've gone like, that one is slightly cute, like slightly Disney-ish. The other one, less cute, more malevolent. And for some reason, there's like a little halo of airborne small rats. And in fact, that one has a slight cat vibe, quite honestly. That one's a bit more malevolent. But both seem to be driving their car over the proletariat. Okay, so you put a car in the background, have lots of little rats running out from the wheels. Oh, their thing. Yeah. So it hasn't really done that. It's done the rat czar in the car, not the car in the background. Safa, we are all lucky we didn't live in either Tsarist times or Soviet Union times, because they were both fucking bad. Depending who you were, which one was worse, quite honestly. I think for an enormous number of people, the Tsarist times were worse. But the Soviet regime was pretty gosh darn bad, quite honestly. Probably not as malevolent and vindictive as the Tsarist times, although you kind of got a vibe Stalin was trying to get there. But I mean, the Tsarists were the Tsars. They were just straight up fucking evil. Yes, Safa, I'm happy being an Aussie commoner too. But I went out with Mrs. Angry. Oh my God, that's right. We had this really bougie lunch on Sunday. We didn't go out on Saturday night or Friday night, but we had this incredibly bougie lunch on Sunday over last weekend at Pearl Diver in the city. And we had a few cocktails with lunch, and they had a clarified milk cocktail, which off the menu, I didn't realize was a milk punch, because it just referred to a milk wash, which is milk wash and milk clarified are two different things. So if I was being pedantic, I'd say they got it wrong. But it turned out to be a milk clarified cocktail. And I can confidently say, by a decent margin, that was the best milk clarified cocktail I've had in a bar. I mean, I make good ones. I make very good ones. And most of mine are better than most of the ones I've ever had, like at a bar where I've paid for them. But this one at Pearl Diver, no doubt, best milk clarified cocktail I've ever had at a bar. Hey, Lee, how you going? This one is very good. And this one was just pure experiment. I just fucked around with the stuff I put in that. But this one is quite good. Maybe not as good as the Pearl Dive one. Like, that's not the best milk clarified one I've ever made. But I've certainly made better milk clarified cocktails than I've ever had when I've been out at a venue. But the new high watermark is the Pearl Diver one. It's good because it had some coffee liqueur in it, and I don't like coffee as a flavor. When you clarify it, it takes away most of the harshness. In this drink, you were just kind of getting like an echo, a ghost of coffee in it, which was really quite interesting. I was going to put coffee in this, and then I realized I only had a tiny bit of Mr. Black left. And I was saving that for doing essentially the AIDSy dedicated video. The cocktail inspired by the way AIDSy had coffee. I need to talk to his ex-wife about, because she had a really good description of how he made it. And I'm going to use that as the inspiration for a cocktail. Probably find her on Facebook. And if I can't find her, if I can find the bloody memorial video. She gave a good description of the AIDSy coffee and the memorial video. And I want to use that as a guideline for like the AIDSy version of an espresso martini, which shall be called Code Grey. in honor of the man. And I'm also going to do another drink inspired by him that I call the Devil's Sazerac. That is quite yummy. And I also think that is all the alcohol I'm going to be responsible. Thursday night, even Thursday night is almost the weekend. I think I actually have a meeting tomorrow. Not that I almost never drink to the point where I'm hungover the next morning. Usually the worst I get is tired and maybe a very mild headache that, headache tablet takes care of. But I do have a meeting tomorrow, which I have to be kind of alert for. Und so I don't want to be too wiped out, so I won't drink any more alcohol, even though no one can really stop me. So I have to stop myself. Because the master goes, somebody stop me. So, which just kind of reminds me of an old Onion article, which I very much identified with. Why won't someone do something about how fat I am? I'm doing something about it now, and it's working. It's kind of like without the offspring here, I'm less tempted to have extra food in the house and eat extra servings and whatnot. And I'm losing weight quite nicely. So my cycle seems to be continuing in this. So I guess, what are we going into with you? So first year of COVID, bad, put on a lot of weight. Second year of COVID, good, I lost a lot of weight. Third year of COVID, bad, I put on not all the weight I lost, but I put on a chunk of the weight that I'd lost. This year is aiming to be another good year where I lose even more weight. Oh, God, no, Safa. Oh, geez, no. No, online meeting. Thank you very much. I've done my time in the office this week. I shall be working from home. And so I only have to be perky for, I don't know if it's half an hour or an hour. But then in the afternoon, I'm going and getting my COVID booster. Having had my flu vaccine yesterday. Get my COVID booster tomorrow. And then we play the waiting game. This winter, what's going to happen? Everyone's predicting a bad flu season. A bad flu season is about a tenth as bad as a bad COVID season, but still means a bunch of people dying. I don't want to be one of them. And in fact, I don't even want to get the flu. I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get sick and feel like shit. Hence the vaccines. And also avoiding people. Fuck people, man. Honestly. Young Mr. Angry's got a job at this new place that's just opened. It's like 24 floors up and apparently has great views. The big thing is, go there for sunset. So they're booked out at sunset for weeks. That's okay. Safa, I actually kept my workstation in the kitchen because this is not my work laptop. This is my laptop. If I worked in here, I'd have to move shit around. And my whole thing about this room is not wanting to move shit around. Also, I'd feel a bit isolated in here. And a big positive of the working from home is being able to interact with Mrs. Angry. So if you tried to get the booster yesterday, nurse didn't do the Moderna, so you're getting it tomorrow. Okay, we'll be booster buddies tomorrow. Is what one you went to in the CBD? Oh, no. This is on Chapel Street. The place I was to, the venue that's like 24 floors up or something is in Chapel Street. Now, you went to one in the city. This is a new place on Chapel Street. I'll probably go there sometime. Oh, Megaleech has done us another pick going for the... Oh, okay. Gone for a realistic. Oh, yeah. Okay, this also fits the New York vibe because the car's yellow, kind of has the vibe of a New York taxi. Bring that up. God, that rat kind of looks like the Grim Reaper. Not actually holding on to whatever that thing is. And whatever flying things are there. Things on the ground that don't actually... Again, it's exactly what I was saying before about a lot of AI-generated images. You look at it first and go, that is cool, that is really impressive. And then you look at it and go, there are a lot of weird, fucked up things on it that are not good. But it's fun. I like that one. That's got a real post-apocalyptic vibe, that one. There's an internet cartoonist. He used to call his website was altered.com, and then he started to get successful, and I think he thought that's not real Altereds, which I thought was funny because I'm a goddamn idiot. And I say I'm a goddamn idiot with pride because I'm a goddamn idiot. It was like, oh, that seemed funny to me, but it's not actually very marketable. So he's changed the name to Shen Comics, Shen. That's his nickname. Does some real fun stuff, different stuff. And he had this whole sequence recently of, some weird art college, and there were all these different arty types in there. And a robot comes in and is going to generate art. And this is an obvious commentary on AI generated images. The robot comes in saying, I have been programmed to do art. And the artists look a bit nervous and say to it, is your art good? And the robot goes, it's good enough, which was a killer line. That was a really good line. I was like, is the current crop of AI generated art good? Well, it's good enough for a lot of things. And look, there is just no argument that it's going to get better. It's going to make fewer of the mistakes it currently makes. I don't think it will replace human artists, but it will make it much harder for a human artist to make money, even in the commercial world. It's going to be much more important how human artists interact with their audience, because that will still be something that a computer program can't do for a while. So that's going to be very important for human artists, because these programs are going to create better and better and more convincing images. And yes, human artists are going to have to address what that means about their place in the world. Much as other forms of automation have changed other workers' lives, white-collar workers and artists and even writers are going to have to come to terms with how this technology affects their ability to make money. Like, it could even affect me. I kind of don't think it will, in the next 10 years before I retire. But predicting the future is a mugs game. Oh, yeah, Safet, that whole thing about, poor thing, that's horseshit on a number of levels. Not least, it's pretty much marketing for the people doing the AI engines. Like, it's this super amazing, unstoppable. It's not. It's not. It's a thing that has a lot of faults and a lot of flaws. There should be a moral underpinning to what it is. But yes, that whole thing about, technology, people think you should pause AI development. Like, shut the fuck up. You're engaging in stupid, fantastical thinking and talking about things that aren't real. And you're either intentionally or unintentionally doing marketing for these programs. So, it's horseshit. These things aren't going to take over the world because they're stupid as fuck. But they can be used to hurt people and destabilize the world for the most vulnerable people. And we need to have a sort of moral framework for not fucking over people. And I'll tell you right now, every single one of those wankers who put their name on the thing saying, pause AI development, none of them want any limits on the degree to which they can use this type of program to fuck over workers. None of them want any limit on that for a second. So they are at best disingenuous. They are at worst evil, cynical, lying, manipulative fucks. So, yeah. Basically, anything with Elon Musk's on it, anything with Elon Musk's name on it, your first reaction should be, well, this is obviously bullshit. If that fucking charlatan con artist puts his name to something, it's bullshit. It's that fucking straightforward. That guy is just a fucking liar. So, yeah. What's the time? 9:30. Yeah, I think I'm going to duck out for a second and get a soda water. I should have brought a soda water in here, actually. But I didn't, and I only have myself to blame. So I'm going to play some music. This one's called Into Space. I'm going to go get a soda water while the music plays. Show off the pretty background while I'm gone. Alrighty. Not at all sure why that's called Into Space, but it's called Into Space. Alright, we're back. I think Musk is on SBS. Seriously, any media outlet that gives him a platform is fucked. Because the guy's he's just a pathological liar. He is not a serious person. He has no insight of any value to offer the world on anything. The fucker should be ignored. Also, because that would just drive him up the wall. Ignoring that narcissistic fuck would drive him up the goddamn wall. So, yes. RBA says they did a terrible job on interest rates. Well, there you go. Ten of Melbourne's best date-friendly dining spots. Well, I need to know that, obviously. Places I can go on dates with Mrs. Angry. Embla. City's best food and drink. Darkwood, exposed brick. It's on Russell Street. Embla. Well, I've never been there. Bar Lurinha. 17-year-old CBD tapas destination. It has a lover's table. An Iberian, aka Spanish-inspired menu, like fluffy deep-fried dough balls filled with salted cod, a spiced savory melange of chickpeas and spinach. Oh, it's in Little Collins. That's okay. Kirk's Wine Bar. Decade of doing thing on handsome corner of Hardware Lane. Okay. Cam's Kiosk. That's in Abbotsford. Not going to Abbotsford. Sushi on. Well, I'm not going to a sushi place because I don't like sushi. It's in Kew. Okay. Gerald's Bar. Carlton. Rathdown Street. Okay. Long Play. Fitzroy. St. George Road. Cocktail bar. Short sweet menu of Mediterranean share plates. Bar Time is in THYM. One bar / restaurant in Footscray, which is weird. I used to live in Footscray and it was a shithole. Now it's like the trendiest part of Melbourne, apparently. Umberto Espresso Bar. Thornbury, High Street, Thornbury. I don't go there either. La Pinta. Reservoir. Jesus Christ, I'm not going to fucking Reservoir. High Street Reservoir. Well, there you go. There's a fun little exploration of places I'm not going to. Hello, Dr. Abigail. Wondering what you're up to. Musical elevator back. Going to a LARP weekend. Nice. Packing your car full. Nice. Sorry, that's a bit bubbly. It made me hiccup. Get the bubbles out. Trouble with Thody water. It's got bubbles in it. All right. Is there anything else happening? Police searching for a man who allegedly stole 2 inoperable rifles from Queensland Maritime Museum. Someone thought they were funny, stealing rifles. He's going to be a man with a gun, but they don't work because he's a goddamn moron. So there's a headline: popular Aussie sushi chain quietly collapses. It just, I picture that literally like a big sumo just collapses, just going. What's wrong with Reservoir? It's a long way away. Oh nothing intrinsically wrong with Reservoir. It's just a long way away from me. So yes, my fuck it, I'm not going to Reservoir is not any specific judgment on Reservoir. It's just that it's a long fucking way away from me. So I'm not going to go there. I might quietly collapse myself. Okay, this is a good headline. Colin Hay on Men at Work and bartering with Sia. If you clean your room, we'll watch David Letterman. What is this about? I need to understand Colin Hay's relationship with Sia. 40 years of hits. 7 hit-filled years. So what's he doing? I want to find the Sia thing. He remembers the first time Sia stayed with him in New York when she was 11. Oh, Jesus. So Sia is his goddaughter. That was a beautiful time, actually. He says, I'd say if you clean your room, we'll have Haagen-Dazs ice cream and watch David Letterman. That was the deal. Then 15 years ago, I saw her on David Letterman. And that was a great moment. She was looking right down the camera, and I knew what that meant. He's been on Letterman as well as Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel. Men at Work broke up by 1985. He tried real hard to have a solo career, which never really took off. So he's talking about he was playing in Los Angeles and he saw Jack Nicholson standing by a mixing console. And I went up to him and said, I'm a great big fan of yours. And he said, I can't hear you. And I got embarrassed and went into the green room. He came in when I was talking to these girls. He came up to me and said, I just want to say I'm a great big fan of yours too. I got very elated, very excited because I just met Jack. And he wrote a song called Looking for Jack. So he was talking to these women and distracted, and she said, what are you doing? He says, I'm sorry, you'll have to excuse me, I'm looking for Jack. And she said, yeah, everyone's always looking for Jack. And I thought, yes, thank you very much. And that gave him the idea of writing a song called Looking for Jack. There you go. Good for you, dude. Good for you. David Letterman certainly had his appeal, honestly. Turns out he was a creep who put the hard word on his staff, which was unacceptable behavior. Peter Andre, 50, defends Leo DiCaprio's age gap romances after marrying Emily, 33. Honestly, 50 and 33 is not that bad. Leo's like, okay, how old is that fucker? How old is this fucker? He's 48, and he keeps going out with like 22-year-olds. And also, for me, it's more than the age gap with him is the power imbalance. Like, he's one of the biggest names in Hollywood, and there's this massive power imbalance if he's dating a 22-year-old. Safa, how Tim Smith? I'm about half. God of Mischief on Twitch. Hello, how are you? If you wonder who the hell I'm talking to, most people actually watch me on YouTube, but I use the thing to restream to Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube at the same time, because why not? So, yeah. And also, as much as Peter Andre is a weird egotist, he doesn't have the power and influence that Leo DiCaprio has. So him with 50 and 33... also that he married the woman and it's not a dating thing when he dumps her when she's 25. It's not the same. It's just not the same. Michael Jordan's 1998 NBA Final sneakers got 3.3 million at auction. Good Lord. Disgusting. Sexy lingerie snaps. I want to see a sexy lingerie shot. Honey Burdette defends using non-binary model in promotional photo. Non-binary burlesque dancer. Jake Dupree wearing $460 ruby red three-piece. Well, honestly. Oh, geez, for an envy, Jake Dupree is pretty buff. Not that being buff stops you from being envy, but yeah, they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. Maybe they're sincere in promoting non-binary people, but yeah, you should start dating 22-year-olds because you keep matching with young people on dating apps. Look, again, there's no power imbalance between you and someone younger. It depends. And I mean, okay, a 22-year-old can obviously, as an adult, make their own judgments. There is just always a question to me. If someone's much older, is that a predatory thing? And of course, in many cases, the answer is no, it's not. I just think, see, I'm just slagging Leonardo DiCaprio. I think his track record doesn't look good on him. Simplest way I can put it, his pattern of behavior does not suggest he's doing sort of non-predatory relationships. I have always liked the half your age plus 7. What would that be for me? Because I have to actually work out how old I am because I keep forgetting, which is probably a byproduct of how old I am. That's the general guide to acceptability of the relationship. So Leo, if Leo was going to follow that, what was he, 48? I worked out. So he should, the youngest he should date is 31-year-olds, not 22-year-olds. Thank you for reminding me, Big H. In just one more week, I'll be 57 though. It's my birthday next week. So then I'll be 57. I'll be coming to terms with that. C'est la vie. Yeah, have you never heard that one, Dr. Abigail, the half your age plus 7? I have no idea who came up with it, but it's honestly not that bad a guideline. It's only a guideline, it's not a rule. Oh, sorry. I suddenly got what you were going with, that 56 was who Megalith should date. I'm slow, which is probably a product of me being 56, honestly. Yeah, I'm just a little bit slow. But that's okay. It's a whole thing. ChatGPT, law firm office staff. Okay, I need to know what this is. $20,000 bounty for ChatGPT. Warnings the technology will cut 40% of legal jobs. Those who don't embrace it will be left behind. The cash incentive will be shared by staff who submit meritorious ideas. Get the message across. Artificial intelligence will be integrated into everyday work. Might get 2 crackers that get 10K each. Might have hundreds of good ideas that get a gift card. Who knows? There's no question you could use ChatGPT now. You could go to ChatGPT because all legal stuff is filed and whatnot. And so you could say, I need to present a brief for a case on this type of thing. Can you prepare me a summary of case law relevant to this? And it would do it. And then your job would be, rather than starting from scratch, look up the references it made and just make sure they were accurate, because these things are prone to put inaccurate things, which would be easier than starting from scratch. Megalito will bear the 98 years in mind. On the plus side, I'm very much planning on sticking with Mrs. Angry, so this difficulty never presents itself. It is interesting, though. I did go through. I noticed the difference through my 20s. My partners were getting comparatively younger than me, not by a huge degree, but started off with a girlfriend the same age as me, and then one who was like 2 years younger than me, then one who's 5 years younger than me, one who was 8 years younger than me. But then I stopped doing that. Mrs. Angry is actually a little older than me, so yeah. Heine, getting ChatGPT to guard nuclear codes would be better than what they do now. There was an audit that revealed that some of the launch sites, like the code to unlock the system was 11111. The American nuclear arsenal is shockingly poorly protected, quite honestly. God damn. Yeah, ChatGPT Skynet. Oh, god damn. Yes, it's a whole thing. Oh, and the weird things about the Americans and Bud Light, which is a shit beer. Look at. I vaguely remember Taxi Ride. This sort of photos of they used to be young and now they're not is shit. And the guy doesn't look bad. That's a shit article. Fuck you, Daily Mail. Why did I even click on a Daily Mail article? Of course they were shit. Of course they were fucking shit. Oh, it's the latest cyber attack warning. Don't charge your phone on public USB charging stations, because people can put shit on it to hijack and steal your data. Now, the interesting thing is, I could see how they do it through a USB port, but if you have your own little power plug that you plug in, I'm not sure if the threat is the same. I would have to look at it. Oh dear. Sorry, it's just with stupid stuff that when they. Heine, you should laugh at your own joke. Definitely. I did see a thing with Stephen Wright did it. That's right. Stephen Wright was very funny, particularly in his prime, where he did everything really deadpan. And he's going like, people say, why don't you laugh when you're saying all these funny jokes? It's because I've heard them all before. And the audience got a big laugh. And then later in the set, he actually, it was infectious from the laughter of the audience. He got the giggles. And after saying one of his punchlines, and the audience cracked up, and he started sort of giggling, and he turned away for a bit, and then he came back and went, I'm sorry I laughed. I hadn't heard that one before. Dr. Abigail, you can build yourself a USB condom that isolates the data channels and accept all the juicy power if you don't want to carry around a charger. Oh, I thought you were going to tell me about an actual condom that somehow plugged into a USB port. I was slightly disappointed. I'm just going to say it. I don't like to judge, but I'm slightly disappointed when I saw a USB condom. Your ultimate point was not referring to an actual condom. You know, like USB sex toys. I was a bit disappointed. I'll be honest. I'm just going to be honest and open. I was a little bit disappointed. Someone invent a USB condom now, as in a condom that goes on a penis and somehow is connected to a USB. I don't know why it's connected to USB. I just want it to be connected to a USB. There must be reasons. You know, apparently semen contains a lot of data, cellular DNA data. Maybe the USB condom actually measures the amount of information in your semen. I don't know. I'll leave that up to the science dorks. I'm the ideas guy. I have come up with USB condom. It's up to the science dorks to make it work and make it actually do something. I think that is a completely reasonable take. You know, in this world, I can't be expected to do everything. I'm an ideas guy, and the science dorks just aren't coming up with the ideas fast enough. And okay, look, like, you know, again, science dorks, you want more ideas? Like, I'm playing with a bit of blue tack. I want AI blue tack. Get on it, science dorks. I've come up with the idea. Earn your goddamn pay and turn it into something. AI's hot now. Blue tack's always useful. You'll need to come up with some AI blue tack. Look, I'll help you even a little bit more. AI blue tack should adapt to the surfaces that you're trying to stick it to and the weight of the thing you're trying to support to it, and it should change its molecular structure to adapt to those two things. See, science dorks, why didn't you come up with that? I came up with it. I did the hard thing of coming up with the idea of AI blue tack. Now you useless science dorks can earn your place in society by actually make it happening. I mean, fuck hoverboards. Hoverboards are a stupid idea. AI blue tack is the future. And you heard it here first. And honestly, if someone else actually invents and markets AI blue tack, I'm going to sue them. You're all witnesses that I came up with it first. So if some capitalist fuck actually releases AI blue tack, they stole my idea, and I'm going to drag them through the motherfucking courts and destroy them. And you will all be called as witnesses. So on that really intelligent and insightful note, I'm going to go to bed. It's 10 o'clock. I'm just going to be super responsible and finish the stream. Only managed to get half Tim Smithed, but big win is my orange sour mix is actually yummy in cocktails. Works really well. I think I will make a daiquiri with it tomorrow. Nice white rum, or maybe even a dark rum. And the rat czar. Well, I think the rat czar was another good star for the evening. But party night tomorrow night. Let's see what happens. And then I am going out to one of my favorite places on Saturday night, a bit early. And I have actually told them on the booking it's for my birthday. So they better fucking give me something free, is all I'm saying. I mean, I'm probably going out somewhere else on my actual birthday with my offspring. But Saturday night, date night with Mrs. Angry is the closest date night to my birthday. I'm going to a place and they like us. We've been there a few times. And I've told them it's my birthday. So they better motherfucking give me something free on my birthday. That's all I'm saying. But rest of you, if you're around, I'll see you for party night tomorrow night. And we'll see how that goes. But you fine folk, take care. Whatever you're doing, hope to see you again another time.